Hi, I'm Destiny Yerby McElroy. I'm a medical librarian. I work at Parker University as a research program manager. I graduated from UTD in 2016 and pursued a dual master's at TWU in library science and health studies. So a medical librarian is the typical librarian, but we have a main focus on health information. I did the degree for it and I didn't realize how valuable it was for healthcare fields to have a medical librarian. So we know how to go into databases, we know the terminology, the language, the logistics on how to find health information, not only for the professionals, but also for the consumers. So the patients wanting to know what their son got diagnosed with and what's the best treatment option. Or the doctor that wants to know upcoming information on what they can advise their patient to pursue. So I was raised in a single family home, just my mom. I had two older brothers and an older sister. I didn't really have much guidance on how to go to college. I graduated a year early so I could get a scholarship, and I started working on my associate's degree. So I kind of got tired of working on my associate's degree and still making minimum wage, so my mom said I should go be an LVN. So that's what I went, and so I went to nursing school, finished that, and then I got pregnant with my daughter. And I was a single mom at the time with her, so I was like, well, if I'm the only parent she has, I want her to have a good one. So I went back, finished my associates, and then applied for my bachelor's, and this was how I ended up at UTD. I enjoyed that typical college life where you went to school, all you focused on was your grades. That's like all you cared about. You'd get your nails done, keep up that little society with the girls. I didn't have all the stresses of being a single parent that I focused on. So it was kind of like a mental break, getting away from that. That was what I enjoyed the most. To the end of the degree, I enjoyed the relationships that I made with some of my peers, because as you know, you tend to take the same classes with the same people all the time. So it's like seeing those people and getting that deeper relationship was very fulfilling. What I gained was the diverse career paths that you can choose with it. When I went in to getting my bachelor's, I knew I wanted to be a doctor because I wanted to help people. And in my mind, that was the only way I could go help people, was being a doctor. But when I was in the class, I learned like there's public health, there's global health, there's all these different career fields in the healthcare field. I feel like society does a really terrible job at saying, you don't have to be a doctor to help people. There's plenty of other career paths as long as you find your specialty and then pursue that. So I didn't have any sort of idea on how to get from point A to point B. So with the Bachelor's in Healthcare Studies, I was able to find a direct route. So in high school, I was very studious. I loved school. That's just what I did. So in that, I graduated early and I was in the work study program. So I had to have a job for that. And when I graduated, I went to work at Home Depot, and I learned that I get bored quickly. So then during my associate's degree, I got my LVN license. So I worked as a nurse in urgent care. That was what kind of started me on the path to like being a doctor, because I was at such the bottom of the totem pole. Not that I'm saying there's anything wrong with being LVN, but I felt if I went higher, I could help more people. And that's what my overall goal was. So during that time, then I finished my associates, went on my bachelor's. During my bachelor's, I didn't work. And then in between my bachelor's and my master's, which was like a month, I worked at UPS. And it was interesting because in that month, they wanted me to change my degree plan from being a librarian, or medical librarian per se, to business management, so I can move up within the company. So that was interesting to see how a degree, like specializing in something, would impact where you work at. I currently work at Parker University. I'm the research program manager, so I oversee all the faculty research. Looking back, I feel like I did miss out on like the typical college experience from doing that, but I was a single mom at at the time. So I was spreading myself very thin with trying to keep my daughter in church and keep up my appearances and keep up my relationships and go to school full time. My favorite class was actually Dr. Burns' healthcare internship, because it was in that class that I decided to not pursue pre-med. I changed to medical librarian, and that was like the best decision I could have made.
Yeah. And your internship for that class?
So I did my internship, funly, at a chiropractic practice. So I say it's funny because now I work at a chiropractic teaching school, so kind of meshed together somewhere in there. So I had a friend at church, and he was a chiropractor, and he actually went to Parker. Somehow that my life just blends together there. And so I reached out to him because it was very convenient. Hey, can I do an internship there? Yeah, not a problem. So that's where I did that. And he saw the same patients like every day and the same illnesses every day. And like I said, when I worked at Home Depot, I knew I got bored easy. And I'm like, oh my God, this is not gonna be for me. So that's how I knew. I would say you need a mentor. That is a big piece for someone who doesn't know per se what career they want. So for me, I had no guidance on pursuing a career. I was already put in the healthcare field because my mom was a nurse, and then I just enjoyed helping people. So I had to figure out and maneuver how to get from A to B, and I ended up going A to Z, and then back to C, and then to D, and then was able to go from there. So I would say finding a mentor, someone that you trust, that you can talk to openly about, well, this is what I like to do, this is what I want, this is what I don't want. What career options do I have? I'm Destiny Yerby, class of 2016.